casting my gaze over the Starfleet of Star Trek, I can't but sense that no matter where we go, there we are. I also sense that in Star Trek there was a golden age of starship design. This era, in my personal opinion, was between the late 1970s and 1990. Before this era, the design work was iconic but less sophisticated. And after this era, there came a preponderance of sharp angles, plastic finish, and a boxy look. Consider the runabouts of DS9, for example, or the Flying Spade, that is the Inquiry class. During the Golden Age period, we were treated to the Constitution II class, the Miranda class, the Excelsior and the Oberth, the Galaxy class, and the Constellation class, although I suspect not everyone will agree with me about the latter. Indeed, I was surprised to find after making Enterprise vs Excelsior that some fans didn't like the Excelsior class design. Of course, I was putting it up against the refit Enterprise, which all sensible people agree is aesthetic perfection, but everyone has their own tastes. At this point, we might throw onto our list the Nebula class, although they first start appearing in 1991, slightly outside our window. Personally, I prefer the many-windowed look of those which appeared later in Voyager. The Nebula's lack of windows on the saucer always made the class seem rather unfinished. What makes a starship design aesthetically pleasing? Certainly not practicality, for the Constitution II class has practical issues which I have explored to some degree in earlier videos. What it has in spades, however, is elegance, and it is an elegance shared with the research cruisers of the Miranda class. This is the cosmic catamaran, made of many familiar elements of the refit Enterprise, saucer, nacelles, which add a family resemblance to the class. As long as the roll bar is in place, the Miranda class looks good. The familial resemblance is also shared with the constellations, although few call them lovely, and fewer would call them elegant. Having built a blender model though, I have become rather fond of it. Yes, the Stargazer is the offspring of what was effectively a kit bash, but in my opinion, it was a successful kit bash, although you may disagree. The Excelsior and the Grissom both step away to some degree from this family resemblance. There remains the saucer, the visual signature of Starfleet, and the twin nacelles, and even the secondary hull, but the aesthetic is different, as if belonging very firmly to a consciously new design era, at least in Starfleet's design history. A page is turned, and I must agree with anyone who considers the Oberth class to be contemporaneous with the Excelsior project. Leonard Nimoy wanted something fresh for his film. A few years later, the next generation would boldly go further with the Galaxy class. The Enterprise D looked and felt like something from the future, not just our future, but Star Trek's own in-universe. Everything was clean and crisp. The runabouts and the Defiant of Deep Space Nine seemed, to my youthful eyes, to be a step backwards. Speaking personally, I suspect the introduction of CGI may have been a mistake for Star Trek. It might surprise you to find that someone who mucks about with Blender might think so, but excess use of CGI in Star Trek has led to starships designed on a whim that fly about like X-Wings. Gone, it seems, is the stately model work of the 1980s, when models cost a small fortune to build and film, and as a result were greatly appreciated. Gone too are the uncluttered and elegant vessels of that era. Now the aesthetic is different, and who can say for certain whether, one day, someone will look back and say that the starship designs of 21st century Star Trek are so much better. But who knows? Perhaps, just perhaps, a new year will usher in a new era.